Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Paranormal Guys. How are you tonight? We're having a great evening. We got off to a little bit of a late start, but we are here now, and we are ready to rock and roll. I've got my cohort, Bobby Dizzle, with me. Let's bring him out here so that I'm not alone. Be Dizzle.
I'm here.
What is going on? You're here. You are. I'm glad you're here.
I made it.
He slid sideways in.
Yep.
So how
I had
was
my
your
baked
day?
potato and I had my water and I showed up.
Well, I had a baked tater too. So I drank sweet tea though. So well, we are supposed to have Jason Kenzie on tonight, but I haven't heard from him yet. So hopefully he's just running a few minutes behind. So you'll have to put up with me and B Dizzle for a while in our horror stories. So
yeah, I mean it's I don't blame some of these people. Like, can you imagine being like moderately famous, 10,000 followers or whatever, and however famous he is, and just somebody like us message you like, whatever, man, I crap hearing you.
Yeah, I get it, but I had him on before. It was when I was with the other person, but I don't know. So yeah, I get it. He's pretty famous.
It's easy to forget. I don't ever fault anybody for forgetting.
Oh no. No, I don't. Heck, I've got 100 followers and a team of 3 or 4 that assist me, and I still forget crap all the time. So it's part of the way life is. So it's just the way it is. Hello, Wendell. Oh, I'm sorry, I was not paying attention to the chat. Wendell is here tonight. Wendell's always here. Wendell's like a regular, so we're going to start calling him one of the regular guys.
Yeah, Wendell's an original Dizzler.
Oh yeah, that's right. You brought him over. He introduced you to us, so he came over to get more B Dizzle.
He's one of the podcast guest turned fans.
That's good. That's good. That's right. I need to talk to him about getting him on sometime. See what kind of crazy stories he's got.
He's got the mystery ghost soup. The ghost roast.
Soup.
Yeah, his old house was haunted with a ghost that would cook.
Well,
and you'd smell beans and roast cooking at all hours of the day.
That's crazy.
That would make me so mad.
Yeah, I'd be looking for. Wait a minute, is that bacon?
Who got McDonald's?
Sometimes I do go through the house late at night, and I will smell something, and I'm thinking, it's just from earlier in the day. I wonder if there's something to that. That's kind of cool. Now, did they physically cook, or was this you just smelled it?
You just smelled it.
Okay, that's what I thought. But he just messaged that he's got a picture. So I thought maybe there was something they physically did. So
he's got a picture of a smoke in his house that formed a picture of a man.
Oh, yeah, we got to get him on here. So we'll have to get him on here and talk about it.
He's got some alleged Bigfoot footprints.
Sweet. It's one thing out of all the time I've spent out in the field, I have yet to get a print. We've tracked some things that we thought might be, but nothing where it was 100%, you know?
I see some of these prints. I'm thinking, how are they not more compelling evidence?
Yeah. Well, it's like you get the DNA that comes back that it's, not from something in that area. It's a species of no known whatever it is. So Deana says she's going to join us for the 10 o'clock hour, I believe. So, oh, I don't know.
Well, I got a friend of a friend that's kind of a witness.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get him.
Yeah.
I was going to see if he wanted to come on.
Okay. Well, hey, we got an hour to kill. 10 o'clock. We'll go. We could start the other stuff without everybody else. So I'll just annoy people anyhow, I'm sure. So So, yeah,
funny.
Deana says she's not coming on till 10 o'clock. So, oh, well. So, I guess about the time you leave me, she'll be coming on. So, it'll be like a old folks show. Me and her running the helm.
Yeah, here we go. Wendell said it's not sure the tracks are Bigfoot. Yeah, you never know.
You don't ever know. And I've seen some casts that I'm like, this is it. And I've seen a lot of casts where I go, I don't know, kind of like the blob squatch. I get tired of, I shouldn't say this on the air, but it gets annoying sometimes. They'll send you, I get so many blob squatch photos, and it's like, oh, I don't want to bust your bubble. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's just, I can't tell you what this is. You know? I can tell you that I don't feel like it is, but that doesn't mean it isn't. So, that and do you get the thing with the eyes all the time? People send you pictures of eyes.
I get pictures of, well, I get people posting on groups talking about they circle something and put eyes on it. I'm like, you can make anything like that.
Yeah. Well, there's some people I think that at night, any reflection they see, and I get a lot of that too. Well, I won't say a lot, but I've gotten some of that. So, oh, well, Deana, we would prefer to have you on if you weren't dressed. So,
yeah. What on earth?
I don't know. I have to start a different podcast for that. Yeah, I get some of the people that come on there with, or not come on, but send me messages, and it's like, it's a picture at night, and it's two dots. They're blurry dots at that. I don't know what that is. You know, it's not my opportunity or chance to tell you that it is or isn't, and I'm not gonna, take away. How do I know you didn't have a rock thrown at you right before that picture was snapped, or you didn't get screamed at and chased out of the way? I don't. So, I tell you who I really would like to find and get on here. I can't remember his name. I talked to him at a conference. He was the Navy bilinguist that did a lot of work with the Sierra sounds and some recordings, and has started to try and put a language together.
Was it Moorhead or Scott Nelson?
It's Scott Nelson, yeah. Have you had him on?
I reached out to him today.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's one that I'd like to get on there. I think he would be a good one. I went to one of his speeches at, I guess it was up in the Smokies, and he gave a pretty good, convincing argument about different languages and what he's interpreted. So he claims that a lot of the recordings that people put out are actual some type of species trying to communicate. So, and even animals communicate. I mean, that's a known fact. So.
Yeah, he was on that show Joe Rogan Questions Everything, and I just watched that episode and took down the names and was trying to get everybody from it on. A good strategy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's a really good guy. I talked to him for a few minutes. Deacon, she got her time mixed up, she says. And she told me in her private chat she was naked, so I'd rather have the naked Deacon. So we have to just play an adult sound to let everybody know this is a not safe for work show. So
it's FW.
So that's right. I don't have a sound effect for that. So I did download one new today that I thought was funny, but if I can find it now.
Do not come.
Do
not come.
I'm gonna come.
Oh, I love it.
I was trying to work out a quick guess, but I don't think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I think Sonya said she might try and hop up in here. So
Sonya'd be fun. I got to air her episode.
We had a great time recording that night. Yes, Deacon is naked. Yeah, we did have a great time recording that, and she's always a good one to talk to and has so many stories. I still have no clue what that cat is she's seen. I mean,
that's weird. It's mushrooms.
Yeah, a tabby cat in the neighborhood ate it. So, yeah, I would like to see something like that. Of course, a cat in the field is the most terrifying thing. Deacon, I don't know the answer to that. I'm guessing he forgot, even though I talked to him earlier this week and reminded him it was Wednesday night. So, I don't know.
They forget, man. They will forget.
Well, and let's talk about things. He's a videographer. He puts out his own show. He has a comic book he's writing. He's a children's book author.
He was just in Minnesota last week.
Yeah, so he's always doing stuff.
He was on Randy Bauer's farm, and Randy Bauer called and said, "Yeah, I had that Jason guy out here." He called me on the phone. It's weird how this I'm some kind of weird integral part of this world now. I'm just getting calls.
Yeah, well, it's good that they're doing that because that means you fit in. So, because I've met some people. There was one guy down in, I guess it was down in the swamps down in Florida. He started calling himself Dr. Sasquatch or something like that.
Oh my God.
And come to find out, like he had somebody on the show and they started asking him, like return questions. Like, well, when was the last time you were out in the field? Well, I haven't. Well, wait a minute. You haven't? Well, you haven't. Have you had any experience? No. Well, tell me what you know. And he did all of his information wrong. He claimed to be the skunk ache expert, and he had never left the studio for an hour a night and had no experience and was going on shows telling people about experiences, but they were other people's experiences. That's true.
Wendell. Stories I've heard, but I didn't ever had any experiences.
Well, I mean, my experiences, the Mount Vernon monster in Virginia, I can pretty much say that was a Sasquatch without a doubt. The Alabama white thing, without a doubt. Well, it was the Alabama white thing. Don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a Sasquatch. In Tennessee and in North Georgia, I've had some where I saw a fleeting thing of it. South Georgia, I saw a leg. It was moving pretty quickly. Yeah, so you've heard that story, haven't you? I was the rookie in the team, and we had a guy who was calling and bugging one of the team members all the time, lived down there, and he didn't want to bother with him. I shouldn't say bother with him, but he's like, this guy's probably full of crap, and he's like, you go down there, there's probably nothing to it. You'll be all right, kid. I'm like, okay. So I went down. I talked to the guy for a while before I went down there because I was all freaked out by the way they were talking, I thought this could be the axe murder or something, and so I went down there, and after I talked to him, and he was a great young guy, and he was a hunter outside all the time, had experience, and he's like, I won't go out in my woods alone. Something tore my tree stand, and he had it 20 feet in the air or something. I don't know. It was up high, out of like reach. You had to climb a ladder to it. And it tore it down. He put another one up in a different spot. It tore it down. And he's like, there's nothing on this property that will do that. And he showed me some tree structures. And I'm like, maybe, there was definitely something tore it down, but couldn't tell. And went all night. Not all night. We went about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, well, dude, I don't know. It could be something moving through. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's a squatch, And about the time I heard the bionic bird, and then I heard some whistles, and I heard some knocks. And I was like, oh. And I said something to him. I said, did you hear any of that? And he goes, what? The whistle happened again. And I said, that. And he goes, oh, that's just a bird at night. And I'm like, okay, what bird is it? And he kind of scratches his head, and he goes, I don't know. So I used to have a really good recording of the bionic bird, and I used to play it at night out in the woods, and sometimes you'd get a knock or something back. It was just fun. So I decided I was going to try that. Well, this activated that creature, and it started doing a I'm going to come to you thing. It got within 10 feet of me, maybe a little bit less than that, of me. But it was behind some bushes. It was at night, It was heavy South Georgia bushes. And so I had a flashlight, but I couldn't even see through the bushes, really. It was close enough, but it was so dense in the honeysuckle and stuff. And it realized I had it pinned down with the light. Once I got that close, it couldn't go. I could see around to the right and left of it by like 10 feet, but I couldn't see through it. And I wish now I had went charging through it with the flashlight, but so this thing started with the whistle, then it did a scream. This thing imitated every bird I think I've ever heard in my life. I mean, at a high pitched decibel at night. I mean, even like birds down in South America, like the cockatoo and stuff, or is that what it's called? The bird that's got the big thing on the head.
The macaw and the cockatoo.
Yeah, it was doing all kinds of noise. It mooed. it moved one time, and I'm like, God damn, what is this? And but it was with such frequency, you could almost feel it vibrate. Well, I looked, and the guy behind was gone from behind me. He was back in his driveway, and I was like, well, that's good. So I heard this huge snap, and I turned and looked kind of like down the road a little bit, and that had broken a big branch and was cutting across the road, and I saw a just like a red leg, like the back of a red leg, like it's, knee down, going into the woods. I was like, son of a bitch. And then I heard this one break, and it was nothing but sounded like a train running through the woods. It got about, I don't know, 100 yards away. I couldn't tell you how far, but it got far enough away, and it screamed at me a time or two. And then there was another one screamed down here. They had triangulated me.
The screaming, man. I didn't know the screaming was that big of a deal.
I haven't heard the screaming that often. This time I know it's because this was probably a young one, and I had it in a, no, don't restart now, in a predicament. So I'm guessing that's why. But typically you only hear the screams when they're not real close together, when they're far, far apart. So, but that was impressive. Yeah, I mean, you could feel the air vibrating. It was like, it was like, dong, dong. And the neat thing about it was, as somebody who questioned it, I could say, well, there's no way a bird had that much lung capacity,
That guy the other night said it felt like you were in a concert. You felt the speakers moving your clothes.
Yeah. He's exactly right. When it's that close, it is. So
he said he saw it from 30 yards away scream.
Ooh.
And it said its face all mushed together into like a big funnel.
Wow.
That's the best Bigfoot story I've ever heard. Like I feel like ending my podcast now. Like I'm not getting any better than this.
Well, that's a primate thing that does that with mouse. So yeah.
I mean, it said the only way you can describe it is the eyes, the mouth, and the nose all gelled into one thing and opened up into a funnel and came out like this far.
Wow.
Yeah.
How tall was it?
10 feet.
Ooh, that's a big one.
He said the limb that kept moving its head around was 8 foot in the air.
Holy cow. One of my buddies, he's ex 3-letter agents. He loves to go out and do these night hikes. And he told me, he said, he thinks it was a Squatch, but, he doesn't know. He said something chased him out of the woods screaming, and he said I could feel it through my body. He said I knew its intent was it didn't want me around. He said whatever it was, I agreed with it. So yeah, he's like, I don't know what it was, but I think it might have been a Squatch. He goes, but I ain't gonna say that to anybody else. I said, yeah.
Knocked his girlfriend out the boat. Our window's talking.
Oh, okay.
We're ignoring Wendell over here.
Yeah, I'm not pushing buttons. Was it, it knocked it? Have you heard that story?
The people that say they talk to them makes me wonder.
Oh, well, the people, that talk to him, I'm the jury's out on me with mind speak.
The guy I talked to, they said the infrasound was real.
The infrasound is very real, yeah.
He said, that's weird.
Yeah.
He said he would take me anytime I wanted to go. What if I see a Bigfoot?
Is it close?
It's in Alabama, Hell City.
Well, heck. Hop in the pickup truck and get down there.
It's terrible. What if I look and there's a Bigfoot in my eyes?
Well, you're either going to do one or two things. You're either going to scream like a little girl, or you're going to be like, holy shit, look at that.
I don't think I'll be scared of them. Not like run scared.
Yeah, I think you got to be respectful. But, I mean, I don't. The only time we were scared was as kids. Yeah. We've done the tree knocks and stuff, and I wonder sometimes if that doesn't entice them. But and the screams definitely brought that one in. I had a guy that could whistle, and it was a weird whistle, and they would whistle back at him almost the same way. So they'll interact some, but yeah. I think their biggest fear is the bang sticks and the light bulbs. So. I think they're smart enough to know that humans, we kill each other. We wouldn't have a problem killing one of them. So it's probably for survival reasons that they stay away from us.
I'm talking to a guy from Minnesota right now. Randy's friend that saw the portal open.
Oh yeah, I saw it open on the not tape. I'm so old. I'm showing my age on the video from where I'm having a brain cramp. The Oxford Paranormal Society recorded it while we were out there, so I saw that. So that's Glenn's story. What story do I have? I got crazy stories.
Like, what do you do if you just? What do you do if you just see a portal open? Like, there it is.
Well, when they saw it, it was on FLIR, and that's how they caught it. You've had Trey on, so.
Yeah, I mean, what's it look like, though?
It looked like kind of.
Which one's Trey?
Trey Hudson out of
I haven't
Oxford.
had him.
Oh, why not? Well, I can fix that for you. I talk to him regularly. He's a friend of mine. I'm in his book. It kind of looked like a lens aperture, but it was more of a triangular shape. Does that make sense? It opened like an aperture, but it was triangular shape, and you couldn't see it with the naked eye, and you could only see it with the one we saw. I mean, there's maybe, well, we don't know. There's more than different ones, and we saw nothing coming in or out of it, but and it was open for quite a while though before anybody got brave enough to try and go near it, and then it closed. But so we don't know. Maybe that's their door. They got a tree with a doorbell ringer in it somewhere, and they go turn it on, and and then shit, humans.
Oh, God, thought it was the Randy. Thought it was the.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Amazon package.
Yeah. It's just the hairless ones. So. Yeah, I think we don't really know. I think they're interdimensional. I do think that. I mean, but I still think they're flesh and blood. So, because I don't see how hearing one run through the woods like that. How could it not be? If it was a spirit, you wouldn't hear it go through the woods, right?
Yeah, while they're here, they're a thing. I'm saying that from pure speculation, but
sure. Oh, y'all are.
Randy all my stuff comes from like Randy in Minnesota. He says he sees them, touch them, and they eat the peanut butter.
Does he go by Minnesota Randy or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, Randy Bauer.
I'm trying to think. I listened to a show on.
Doesn't have a show.
No, this wasn't a show. This guy was from up there in Minnesota, and he had some weird stories about they were eating out of pie pans, and they would come right up to the front door, back door, and I mean they were like almost neighbors with him. So I have to go back and try and find that show. It seems like that was strange.
Minnesota seems to be a hotbed.
It's cooler. I mean, it's a big hairy thing. Yeah. That's why I've never. Maybe the ones in the South try and get up there.
You're in a winter coat 24/7.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I can't imagine how unbearable it is here in the South for an animal outside that has that much fur on it. Holy cow! I mean,
if they can dimension hop, they just go over there.
Yeah. So, I'll be right back. I'm up in Minnesota to get some ice. So. I was trying to find. It's like their show was like Strange Familiars or something like that. I'm trying to find. We corresponded a while back, and they wanted me on their show at one point in time, but then I never heard back from them. Maybe they found out about me. They got the truth. Strange Familiars. That was the show. Yeah, you should see if Randy will come on tonight, and my stuff will glitch too.
Yeah, it's
that's still
Randy's. Randy is probably going to bed soon. He's 64.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and if I remember correctly, he kind of still does a lot of live off the land type thing. So, if it's the same guy I'm thinking of,
that's probably not. It's this guy runs sound for different bands and just has a place like Skinwalker Ranch. He doesn't do any shows or anything.
Oh, okay. Then no, this wasn't the guy. No, this wasn't the guy. This was an older guy too, but he still had a farm and still had cattle and stuff. So That guy had some weird stories. They'd come eat out of pie pans off of his back porch. He would just like put the scraps in the pie pan and they'd come get them right off the porch. Didn't care. They were like, hey, how you doing? They'd bring him something occasionally. So, yeah, he had, that guy had some good stories. I have to go back and try and find out who that was because he was good. So, Wendell said William. I'm not sure what Wendell means by William, but okay.
Wendell's drunk. Wendell's knocking him back.
Wendell, I wish I was. I feel like I should be tonight. I should be having the drunk episode tonight. My crew forgets about me.
Wendell said he's addicted to podcasts now.
Well, he should be. They're a good thing to be addicted to. Token Muddle, my good friend Todd. You're a good friend too, Todd. Evening. Yeah, I am wearing the shirt. Yep. Todd is in Oklahoma, so he is listening to us from Oklahoma.
Todd's on here now?
Mm-hmm. He's in the chat. Yeah, Token Muddle. Yeah, he's in the chat. The Token Muddle podcast. That's one you should check out, Wendell. Token Muddle. And then Corey's is My Two Dads. Is that the name of it?
Your Two Dads.
Your Two Dads. Okay. So check out Corey's. And then Divine Time with Danny. He's a good one to listen to. He has some good positive affirmations every day usually. So he's a good one to listen to.
Paranormal Extraction.
Yeah.
With Zoe Zatar.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great one. And
well, let's see if Wendell will go on that show.
Please. The Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones.
Who the hell what have you done?
Oh, yeah, you were getting those messages from me that day, so
I couldn't help it. I had to let somebody validate my experience.
Yeah, I know, but it was fun. Yeah, she got a good story out of me, the Mount Frey Monster. It's funny, once they all want to talk about the Mount Frey Monster, then they hear that I'm in Trey Hudson's book. They're like, well, tell us the story there. Well,
is it JT okay. Hudson?
Yeah.
I think I reached out to him. I never did. What happened with that? He may not have ghosted me.
Well, he actually just retired like last month. So he's been working Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5 and getting out in the woods when he could. And sometimes his job made him go far away. So, yeah, he was always kind of busy. I mean, he always took time for Jessica because she's on our team too. Jessica's a great show. Jessica, I heard, was doing one tonight was it last night about the tunnels under the grounds and maybe how they interconnect with portals and things. So she sometimes gets some people on there that I'm like scared I shouldn't listen to because if I turn the radio on and they know I'm listening, they'll come get me. So she sometimes gets a little out there with some things. It's like, ooh, I don't know if I'd say some of that stuff, but she don't care. She's really good. So
she was on that show I was on, Unidentified S4. Mm-hmm. She was on there as a guest, or will be.
And she does, what is it, Spaced Out Radio. She does that, Friday, Saturday nights. She hosts a show. So,
I need to get me on there.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, email him. He's pretty good about responding back to you. I can't think of his name right now, but he's always receptive to get people on and talk, so... Todd? Is it Todd? I have to look. Yeah, he is always he's pretty much the only one, him and a couple people on weekends. So yeah, he's always looking to have somebody on.
I'm just trying to, I don't know, like build myself up quick as I can. Yeah, I'll probably end up with 10,000 followers and nothing to do.
Yeah, well, I keep complaining. I've got 84, I think it was 86 something, 80 something, and I'm like, dang it, I'm so close to 100. I can't get pushed over the edge. But just 2 weeks ago, I was at 75. So,
well, I wouldn't worry about it. It doesn't make any sense. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll get a rhythm, and it'll happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand any of it.
Well, I mean, if you're honest and truthful, sometimes you're a bit controversial, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes it works out. So We'll see.
You never know. I think that maybe if you start talking about the government shit like I do sometimes, it might be a shadow ban sometimes.
True. Well, I know on the other show we do the big chat. We ruffled some feathers on it, and I had CBS producers watching the show. And so I'll tell you off air how I know they were listening for without a doubt facts. So, but yeah, so out of LA,
CBS producers.
So yeah, I mean, they might not have been interested in my show, but there were some interns watching it because they had to. We had one of the house guests, BFF, on our show, and I released it as a short. And actually, I think I put it on TikTok. I put it everywhere. And they called me, and they're like, no, you can't do that. So
they said you couldn't do that?
Yeah, they said it had something to do. I didn't argue with them because, well, hell, who am I to argue with CBS? But it said it had something to do with the safety of the house guests of the contest, and I'm like, okay, I won't. That's fine. So I said, just give me an interview when he gets off the show, and they promised me that. Of course, they've already forgot my number, but
they just got it off the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't hire a PI to come stalk my house or anything, but it's funny when you occasionally, every now, we'll get that. So yeah, who am I going to argue with? CBS? Turn it off. Okay, well, I don't know who owns Spotify, but they may tell them to turn off my podcast.
You never know. I mean, contracts are obligated.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that having a friend of somebody would. I don't understand how that would work, but my mind, not me.
I guess they were afraid that he'd give out some information or something, and I said, "Well, no, you heard everything. I played from the time he got on the show to he was off. It was only 20 minutes." And they were like, "Well, you can't have that. You got to get him off." I know Jonathan Odom. Yes, I do. I know Don Tart over in the Carolinas.
Jonathan Odom's the one that invited me to the camp out.
Oh, in Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Be careful.
He's going to be on my show Sunday.
Be careful. He carries a sword or a really big knife. I'm not sure which it is.
I know. I'm excited about it. Me and him had like a 20-minute phone call today.
Yeah, he's cool. I'm not sure if he was the one that came out with West one time down in Central Florida. I think he did. I've talked to him. Have I had him on the show? I don't think I had him on the show. No, the guy I had on the show was from Tennessee. He had come down to our crew. But I'm pretty sure that Jonathan came out in the field with us at least once. So
he apparently knows his shit.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, of course, you're talking 10 years ago, so I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it was him. Wendell's going to teach him how to pan gold. Wendell, you can teach me that. I've always wanted to learn that. That and napping. Those are two things I want to learn to do.
Don Odom and I are going to meet at a restaurant in Southern Tennessee and hang out for a few hours pretty soon. Maybe Bucky's, because he wants to meet in person before we start doing a podcast since he's so close.
That's cool.
But me and him and Roger Williams are going to meet at like a hungry Hank snoozing snack.
That's cool. I was thinking he was talking about Don Tart over in what is the big forest over in North Carolina? Okeechobee,
Maggie Valley.
Far. No, it's a big one over in maybe it's South Carolina. He's the one that I may have that file. Let me look and see if I got that audio file still. That was the creepiest audio file that I think I've gotten out of people. If not, I know where I can download it real quick. Haha. Let's see. Should be over here. Maybe? No? Crap. Yep, this is it. Let me download this real quick. Yeah, let's download. I think I've sent you this one. Share audio. This is one of the creepiest ones I think I've heard. And it's not so much the Squatch.
Are you sending it to me? Sorry, I'm getting like messages out the ass over here. I'm famous.
You are. You are. I want to be
really.
just like you when I grow up.
Not really.
Oh, where did it go? I told it to download.
Raving homosexual.
What?
Huh?
What? Huh?
Come again?
I'm not sure understood. Oh, it's a WAV file. Crap. This won't play a WAV file? Apparently it won't. Crap. How do you edit a WAV file? Can I open it with Audacity and convert it? Maybe? What the hell?
It won't play a WAV file? Just hit .mp3 at the end. See if it'll change it.
No, it won't. Bobby's coming out of the closet. Let's see here. Play with this. This should be able to... on the 10 o'clock hour, I got my editorial that apparently upset people. So...
You're upset. So upset.
Well, they didn't show up today, did they?
It'll be okay.
Oh, can you
It's
play
no
a
show
WAV file?
Jones hour. Call me no show Jones.
Can you play a WAV file, Bobby?
I don't know. Try.
Well, hold on, I'll send it to you. Because I can't play a WAV file. That's the dangest thing. Let me find you on here. Send it to you.
Hey, call me no show Jones.
I love my new mouse, by the way. All right, I just sent you. It's a WAV file. I don't understand why it won't play it. I always thought it would. I don't guess I have it in any other form. Yeah, I don't see it in any other form.
Yep. Here you come.
You got it?
Well,
I couldn't have defeated my most technologically advanced friend. Oh, Deacon says she's not coming out of the closet and she's not upset. She was just confused. Isn't that what coming out of the closet does? Oh, did I send to you?
where'd you send it?
I sent it through, instant messenger. Well, all right, fine. Holy cow. I can't believe my message.
It may still be processing or something.
I don't know. Let me just forward it to you. Let me just do that. I can do that in Gmail. Oh, it's just going to tell me I don't have your email address. What's your email address, Bobby?
BobbyDizzlecast@gmail.com.
CAST?
Mm-hmm.
At gmail.com. Okay, if I can type, it'll be on its way. All right.
Apparently there's another Huntsville person coming to this camp out. I swear to God.
These Huntsville people. I've only been there once.
I just want somebody local I can do this with, like a really, really, really cool co-host.
Yeah. I've been fortunate. I've got people up in Northeast Georgia, in Tennessee, and in fact, my crew is going tomorrow. So they're going to be out, I can't say where, but they're going to be out down in Alabama and in the woods. So kind of excited about that, but I'm not going to be able to go, unfortunately. I wish I could. Jessica's going. I think Don Tart's going. Trey is going. Yeah, I think those are the big names out of the group.
These people have time to do this.
Well, he's retired now. Trey is. So I think Don is, he's got so much time in, he might as well be retired. He works for is it Nuclear Regulatory Commission or something? He designs the nuclear plants. He's got so much time, and I don't think they'll let him retire, though, because not many people know what he knows.
I need that kind of leverage.
He's about got me believing in dang mermaids, too, because he likes, now that he's got a little bit of seniority and time, he likes to go to the beaches, and so that's going to be his next quest. And he started giving me all this evidence. I was like, man, I don't know. I can believe a lot of things, but I don't know about mermaid. And he goes, I don't know either, but I'm going to look. I said, you can spend a lot of time on a boat drinking beers. What you going to do?
Dude, you're a fucking manatee. All those things were.
Yeah. So that's what I told him. I said, you're going to spend a lot of time drinking beer and fishing and saying, I don't know what it was, but it got away. And hopefully I can get Katie to come back on the show. She, well, not come back on the show. She was booked for me, and she was unable to come because she had a family emergency. And she does the America's Loch Ness with Champ up in Vermont. So
this file still hasn't came in.
I sent it Gmail.
Sent UPS.
It ain't come back to me, so. Yeah, I just checked. I don't have any bounced mail. Oh.
I sent it UPS.
Yeah, I went FedEx. That's the way the Southern boys do it. So, does Wendell live on the lake? Wendell can take me fishing. He lives in the creek if he's doing gold panning. So, there's another group over in Alabama I want to try and get. He runs a show once a week. In fact, it may be Wednesday nights. Rebs Outside Radio or something like that. I went on there one night. He plays music during his show and stuff, so he's kind of like, I don't want to say he's kind of like a DJ, but he's kind of like a DJ. I mean, he's got all the buttons and everything in his house. I think he might have been like a retired sound engineer or something. I don't know if he's retired, but yeah, he's like, I play some music. I got a commercial. Okay, I'll wait. I'll hold. I think it was Rebs Outside Radio or something like that. Downtown Anniston. I keep getting Anniston confused with the place down there by the nuclear biological place down there. Middle Georgia.
Anniston Army Depot?
Yeah, that's the one I keep getting.
It's the same place.
With. Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I've been there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then Anniston, Alabama is where ANAD is.
Jason just messaged me. When was that? 45 minutes ago. Be nice, huh? Yeah. I told him if he's ready, it's fine.
That's
because we don't know. I think he's in Central, so.
Hey.
Well, Anniston is the one that we are closest to, right? Down off 85.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Auburn's off 85. Opelika.
Oh my gosh.
Anniston's off I-20.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Anniston's where we went for the hazmat class, and then that other guy I met is down around that way. So we go camping not far from the Georgia side of that. So
Calhoun County is close to Atlanta, close to Birmingham, near perfect.
Oh, look, the wonderful and beautiful Miss Sonia is here. Hello
Hi,
there.
guys.
How
Where
are
have you
you?
been?
I'm well. How are you?
We're worried sick.
Well,
We've missed you.
I was planning on like a show at 10 o'clock, not 9 o'clock, and yeah. But look,
that's
I'm
okay.
here.
Well, we're always glad to have you here. So, how are you tonight?
That's too shabby. It's really nice out tonight. Like the weather. It's been really cool. I saw an otter in my creek for the first time.
Oh wow!
Otter.
Yeah, like I've never seen an otter out here. I've never seen an otter out in the wild. And
Oh.
yeah, So
That's
that
This
was
was the first one I saw here. I was like, what the hell, an otter? I didn't know that.
yeah, that's what I did. I was like, it looks. The ones here, they're like a dark brown color too, and it couldn't look like a baby seal, like a little seal. You know,
That's
it was so
crazy.
cute.
They're slick.
There's
There's
Jason.
Jason.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
so
how
sorry,
are you?
guys. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I got
I
so
blamed
much
it all
going
on
on that I
Bob.
totally. There's no excuse. I'm an idiot. That's all I
I
have to
blamed
say.
it all on Bob. I said it was Bobby's fault.
Nice
So
going,
Yeah, I
Bob.
said I-
this
I
is
said I-
Jason
I've met
and Bobby.
Jason on Grizzly show before.
Oh, that's
Tanya?
right. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
nice to see you again, Jason.
Bobby Dizzle up there. So
So I have.
Yeah, we
I
became
have
Facebook
probably-
friends today.
I have about 45 minutes to an
Okay.
hour. Is that fine?
that's good. that's good.
Yes,
I'm glad
like I
to
said,
have
I'm
you.
so sorry, guys. Like, what time do you guys usually end at?
Well, we get well. The second part of the show is just really us BSing, so it kind of goes to the end.
Yeah, it's kind of garbage time.
Yeah, it's where we bring up stuff and irritate people and play wonky sounds. So it's this is
that's
the
the best.
serious part.
That is the best for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get
So how
everybody.
are
Well, I
on
heard
mute.
you met my buddy Randy a couple weeks ago.
Randy, yes,
Mhm.
yes, nice guy,
That
nice guy.
guy's a class act.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened. Did you talk to him since?
Yeah, he called me and told me after Jen and y'all left.
Yeah, all the crazy stuff, all the tree structures. I don't know. Did you see the photo that I put out today?
Mhm. Yeah,
I
remember
put
we were
that up.
talking. We were talking on the chat or the comments below that.
Oh my gosh, the comments were going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know, you get the nice people, and then you get the ones that I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, it's people that don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I mean, and some people were saying that I'm saying that it's made by Bigfoot, and if you read the at the top, I said that I can't say that it's made by Bigfoot because I didn't see it was what made it. You know,
I didn't get the
people were
building.
saying
I didn't
that
get the
made
design
it.
plans. I
Yeah,
didn't get the schematics.
yeah, they say that I made it, which is
Yeah.
like,
No.
it's. I mean, I guess I can understand. Because being an outsider looking in, who knows, right?
Well, we have a lot of people in the community reaching too. There's a lot of reaching out there and a lot of
Yes.
stuff out there. So
Mhm.
people are just really skeptical.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of skeptical too, like totally.
Mhm.
I mean, tree
You
structure.
should come to my house.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm very skeptical when it comes to tree structures that are small enough that a human can make them. That's the thing. If one person can make it, I'm skeptical, but I love finding the tree structures that are massive, where the trees are, 20 feet long and they're, massive around.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about the area too, because there's a lot of places, the trees aren't that massive. Like even the trees around here, we have big trees, but I don't know. We get a lot of smaller structures rather than larger structures just because of the size of our trees. But a lot of them are drove down so far on the ground. I mean, and out here where I live, people don't get on people's property out here. That is not something that people do. You get shot out here trying to do stuff with somebody else's property.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I liked about Randy's place. It was all private.
Yeah.
And
I want to go so bad. It's 19 hours away.
Well,
19
you
hours.
can come to my house, Bobby. It's not that far. You have an
Yeah.
experience.
I get invites all the time. People, I'm like a Make-A-Wish kid. They're like, come see something. Like I'll come. I'll do one of them one of these days.
Well, at one point we were sitting on the fire, and then I stood up and said, "Hey, I'm going to do a howl." And people I'm with, they don't really care much for howling. They think it's kind of silly. And I'm like, we'd be sitting around for like a couple hours, not, just having fun, but nothing was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, let me just do it for, shits and giggles. So I stood up and I howled. And then within 10 seconds, we got this long howl back.
Oh,
That
wow.
was a deep howl. And it caught us off guard because when you see the documentary and you see we're kind of talking in the middle of it because we didn't think nothing was going to happen. And it just cut us off and we look around like, God.
Yeah.
and then another one howled in front of us, and then the coyotes howled.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love when the coyotes howl, because you can always tell the difference between coyotes and whatever these things are.
Mhm.
Oops.
Earthquake in Tennessee.
Somebody told me that
My
the
dog
barn
grabbed
owls.
the cord. I have like 7 dogs. I got my door open, so my sister's dogs are at my house right now too.
No,
So I
oh
got
my
like
God.
7 dogs laying in the bed. I can't run them off at the moment. We're like, just 2.
Somebody told me that they imitate the barn owls, but barn owls don't typically throw rocks afterwards.
That's
Well,
right.
that was funny, because right after that we started hearing an owl sound that sounded off.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounded like an owl, but it didn't. So we did the smartest thing that we could think of, and we went into the forest at night looking to see
Yeah.
what was making
Should.
it.
Sounds
That's-
like a good choice.
I would do that. Like I go in the woods and sit by myself, like by myself in the woods at night all the time out here. And if you really want to have a good experience with them, that is what you have to do, because they have to know
Absolutely.
that you are there and you're not scared. Because I
Yeah.
mean, you can imagine being a creature in the woods all the time, and every time somebody runs into you, they're like, ah. That's gotta hurt your
Exactly,
self-esteem a bit.
How
And-
does that affect on women?
Yeah, we know, Glenn.
Hey,
Everybody asks, where's Bigfoot? Nobody ever asks, how's Bigfoot?
Yeah, yet he never complains.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
that was bad.
I mean,
Did you
they know
experience any of the mind tricks from Randy's place?
No, didn't get really any mind tricks. You know.
Mm.
He's
you
all the time
believe in
getting
that?
jerked around out there.
I did feel like a sloth at one point, but I think I was just being lazy.
The land in places where these things are too, the land is different. There's a different energy on a lot of the lands where people have these families, these clans
Yeah.
or whatever. And the energy of the property itself is different. It's not just them, it's it's the surrounding areas too. And that's why they dwell in those areas, because they can use the energy,
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. At one point, Randy gave me a tree cam. And so I tested out the tree cam. I stuck it up, and for like 2 days it was running, and I put it in a spot. So, facing where we were camping. But the thing is, it was at an area that people wouldn't walk by all the time, but every once in a while. And then at one point I went into the forest and I stuck a piece of candy. It was a lollipop with a massive lollipop, and stuck it in a tree. And then I yelled out, "Okay, Sasquatch, this is for you. Try not to eat it all in one fitting." And I left, and I'd stuck the tree cam up. And the night before, 2 days prior, I stuck a little candy in the same spot, and it was gone. Which probably a chipmunk or a squirrel or something. And then now I stuck this giant lollipop, and it came back the next. I think it was in the evening. It was on not even 24 hours, but it was, and we walked up there, and it was gone from the hole, but it was on the ground. But it looked like something licked it, took a little bite, and then threw it onto the ground. And I'm like, oh, it's a chipmunk. So
Well, it's because you told him not to eat it all.
well, I did actually. I said, "Don't leave some for me." I said, right?
You said don't eat it all in one sitting, so he just took a bite and left it.
And so I took down the tree cam, and here I am. I'm just thinking it's a chipmunk. I didn't even look at the footage on the tree cam. I just stuck it away, and I think 2 days later we flew back out. I flew out, came home, and I'm going through all the footage, and I open up the tree cam, and I put the memory card in. There was about 60 images, 60 video clips on them, and everyone worked except for that one. That one
Yep.
with I swear, as I'm sitting here, that one the video was there, but it was corrupted. And I tried opening it up with like three other editing programs that I have, powerful ones. Nothing would open it. And the video before it worked, and the video clip after it worked. And there was maybe 6 or 7 clips afterwards. But that one, I was excited because I wanted to get the video clip of the chipmunk eating or licking it and knocking it to the ground because I was going to put that into the documentary as a little cute squirrel, right? You know, it's always good to have cutaways. And I was mad, but like, you got to be kidding me. They all work except for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is the odds of that happening? You know? And I always hear from other people saying that sometimes their cameras don't work.
Yeah, we have trail cams here that it doesn't matter. Like, they know they're there. That they either get moved, or they'll capture images that just aren't like anything. You know, it's just a blur, and they use that energy, and that's it's really cool though.
Well, I'm surprised Randy let you have a camera out there. He's pretty adamant about it.
A lot of people that say they've had these problems with the cameras and electronics, what gets me is you'll get people saying, oh, well, that's not true. That's not true. Well, I'm here to tell you his story is 100% accurate. It's happened to me. Yeah. Get your butt in the field and try it for yourself, you know?
We have, like, the cameras out here that are on my house. They know exactly where they stop recording. They know to a T where the camera is where they can no longer be seen. They know to a T. And I know that because they leave a lot of like glyphs around, like on the property edge here, you know. So they know exactly how far the camera will work. It's just it's wild how they can see that and how they know that, you know.
Yeah,
using that energy.
So, have you seen Bigfoot, Sonia?
Yeah, I have. I've got a family of about 10 of them that are out here. And 3 of them that I have a pretty good close bond with that I see. One of them I see on a regular basis. She's a watcher. She's out here about every day. She's been watching the place for a long time. And then there's the big, like the alpha male, like he's out here at night. You know, I see him quite often. I've seen him since I was little. And then there's there's an old gray one. She's like she's the leader of the pack. She's the old mother, you know. I don't see her as often, but I know she's there. Like, I can hear her. Like, I know when she's there. Like, she's got white eye shine, and she's a gray color. She's really, really beautiful, actually.
Do you ever get scared?
No. I go out there, like I said, I will go out there right now, and I will go deep into the woods. No gun, no flashlight, no phone, and I'll pick a tree, and I'll sit down with my back on it, and that's where I sit, and that's how I present myself.
Yeah, me too. I never get scared at all. Never. I am so stoic out there.
Yeah, like I
am scared all the time. Like, I'm like in a panic everywhere I go. Chipmunks scare the heck out of me. I hate chipmunks.
I just, like, I don't know. I'm so crazy. I've got that. I'm a hippie, so I've got that, like, oh God, I've got good vibes. Animals won't attack me vibes, you know. So that's in my head.
We call that.
That's what I'm working with, and I have to. That's the only way I can continue to do what I do. Is like I'm. The Bigfoot don't scare me, but there are bear in the area and stuff now, and the coyotes I'm not worried about. Like, and I don't only have Bigfoot out here, but I have the thing they call the wampus cat.
Yeah, Jason, listen to this.
It's a 6-foot cat-like creature that roams the woods out here. You know, like, you just don't know it until you see it.
What is it?
It's called the wampus cat, which I didn't know what it was called. I just saw a cat-like creature in the woods out here that was not Bigfoot. I'm used to seeing Bigfoot out here.
Was it walking on all fours?
It was walking on 2 legs. She had 2 arms, 2 legs. She was just probably a little bit taller than me. The first time I'd seen her, though, she was sitting on her butt on a hill behind, like I had a pig pen, and she was sitting behind my pig pen on a hill, on an embankment, sitting on her butt. She had her legs straight out. She was just sitting here like this, you know, with her arms like that. She had big green eyes. She had ears. She had long, like, brownish hair. She had,
was it nighttime? Was it nighttime?
It was nighttime, yeah. I went to, I had been gone all day, and I went to feed my pigs at like midnight. Me and a friend. I had a friend with me. And I told this friend like weeks before, you know, I was like, listen, if you want to be like sneaky on the property, because at the time I was fighting with my sister and I didn't, you know, want her in my business. So if we was outside and stuff, I was like, turn your flashlight off so she's not wondering what we're doing. So, so I was like, okay, so anytime you turn your flashlight on, everything knows where you are. So learn to not use the flashlight.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so it's just like a couple weeks later, we're going to feed the pigs. It's midnight. We get out there, and for a couple weeks before that, we had heard chattering, like what sounded like if you pass a park when all the kids are outside playing and chattering. It sounded like that. It sounded like a bunch of kids talking to each other, a bunch of little kids, or a bunch of little girls talking or giggling and whistling. We would hear whistling. It would sound like somebody whistling songs in the woods. But you knew it couldn't be anybody whistling, because if you whistle, you have to take a breath. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the world champ whistler, okay? You're going to have to take a breath. And these whistles, like, it would be like song long, you know, and never skip a beat or anything. So we would hear these weird chattering and these whistles. And that had been going on all week. Again, okay, so I'm gone. We're going to feed the pigs. It's about midnight. We start hearing the chatter, and I'm like, do you hear that? My friend's like, yeah. And I said, is that the kids? Because I've got my niece and nephew live next door. And she's like, Sonia, it's midnight. They're being bed. They got school tomorrow. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I was like, that's just weird. Because I'm hearing children talking. So we get out to the barn, and I've got my pig bucket, and I'm having to stir it, to like dump it and stir it more and then dump it, you know. And we kept hearing the noises and stuff. And my friend, everything was fine. Like, everything was cool. I was dumping the bucket. She had the good flashlight. I had a crappy flashlight. And we kept hearing the noises. My dogs were even outside. She was like standing beside me. She was just scanning the woods, because the thing, it was making noises, like just weird chatters and whistles and just, I don't know, screams.
Wasn't meowing or nothing?
It wasn't meowing. It was just like chatter. Like,
so,
and it sounded like, it sounded like it would be all around you. It was crazy.
Was it a female? Do you know if it was female?
Oh, it was definitely female.
Really?
She had two breasts. Two breasts. It looked like she was.
Cats have like 9.
Yeah, that's every time somebody says that, I even say she had 2 breasts, not 9 titties like you would think. Like, not
that's
enough.
The first thing
nipples.
I said.
I have an extra nipple, so you can't even whatever.
Whoa. TMI.
All of a sudden,
I probably would have ran inside and grabbed some.
I'm not a cat. I have 3.
Easy to catch her, you know. But this is so. How big do you think she was? Like 6 feet?
She was just a little bit taller than me. She was probably like 5'11", anywhere between 5'11" and 6 foot.
So I've heard of cat people.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard of that. So have you ever seen her since?
Well, after we saw that first initial time, you know, what was messed up about it was my friend, like when we first initially saw her, like when I was feeding the pigs, like my friend didn't even say nothing. She turned her flashlight out and stood behind me and didn't say a word. She didn't say nothing. And I was like, do you hear that noise? I said, because she had her flashlight out, I said, let me see your flashlight. And she like chucked it at me. So I turned like the good flashlight on, and I turned around and looked at it, and it was sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the F is that? And she didn't say anything. And I was like, oh my God, you see that? And like the thing didn't move. She didn't move. But my friend's back there, and I turned around and I was like, do you see that? And my friend goes, yeah, it's been standing there for about 10 minutes. It's been sitting there for about 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
My friend let this thing stand. Like, I wasn't scared. Like, when I seen her, I just stood there. Like, I wasn't scared at all. My dogs were running around her.
Oh, yeah.
My one dog sat down beside her, and she was like, and when she took off a couple of months later, my dog followed her. He was gone for 2 weeks. I had to go over the mountain and get him from a neighbor's house who found him.
Now you have another set of different animals on your property. Half dog, half cat.
Well, yeah, and when people talked about the dog man and stuff, which I had seen a dog man in the next county over.
Wouldn't it have been cool if you had a laser pen? You would have.
God,
this is why I love your shows.
But well, like, okay, so like for like 2 days, I processed the fact that I had seen this. Like, I told my mom about it, and I didn't tell anybody else just yet. And my friend was freaked out. She didn't even want to come back here because she had already seen Bigfoot like a month before that. She'd seen him, and it freaked her out. And then she saw this thing that I didn't know what it was, and she's like, "Well,
a little bit towards it too."
Like, well, she was like, I forget that stuff like this traumatizes people. Like, honestly, traumatizes people. And I don't know. I'm just like, wow, look at that. Another thing, you know, I've seen some weird stuff, and that's not even like, this is just the beginning of it, you know?
Yeah.
So, But like, so 2 nights later, my sister's boyfriend comes up here and he knocks on the door and he was like, I come to the door and I was like, what? He was like, I think there's coon hunters out on the property. And I was like, why? Why do you think that? He's like, because I'm hearing noises from the woods. I said, is it whistling? He said, yeah. How'd you know? I said, and I went with him. I grabbed my shotgun and my flashlight and I went back out in the woods with him. Now I'm telling you, we walked around this property for 4 hours, and that thing, the dogs wouldn't come with us. This time the dogs didn't. I left my dogs inside, but his dogs wouldn't come, except for we had this one deaf dog that showed up out of nowhere. It was just a stray. He was just
Blind
hanging
in
out.
one eye.
He came, and my big dog came, and we went out in the woods, and for 4 hours, this thing ran around us so fast. Like, I know how the Bigfoots move, and I know how they cloak, and I know how they how they walk with the energy.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing was different. This thing, you would just catch a glimpse of her tail, but you could feel the wind as she walked by you. You could feel her going around you, and you couldn't catch her. Me and my brother-in-law stood back to back with our flashlights, just trying to, and we knew she was all around us. You could hear her, and it bothered my sister's boyfriend because he never saw what it was. I saw what it was. I saw it then, and I saw it a couple of nights later, like face to face. And I've heard her since then. I haven't seen her again, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. And I've heard her since then. I haven't seen her. But
well, keep us up to date when that happens.
Can you imagine?
I'll get one of the puppy hybrids. Okay.
I can assure you, she's not crazy. She's kin to me, so.
I can tell you what. If I catch one of those, I definitely have it.
I was going to play right before you came on, Bobby. Our team, when we were out in the woods, I wasn't with them when they caught this sound file that I sent to Bobby to play. Just let you listen to it and see what you think. It's whenever you're ready, Bobby.
Coming down.
All right, let me share his screen. There it is.
I don't know how it's going to look. There we go.
Okay.
A minute.
The Florida death clip.
Gets wild.
Oh, you've already heard it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hearing anything, Bobby.
No. It must be one of those mute
nothing.
Sasquatches.
It's
over there going.
Yeah, it's doing. In my ears, stuff is going nuts right now.
Oh yeah,
maybe it just didn't transfer in right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know how else to tell you to do it. So, can you share a file down there or share audio?
I don't know. I mean, as we troubleshoot.
See, he's my technical guy here. So.
Give me 1 second. I can still hear you. I'm just gonna.
We're used to it. Brenda does it all the time. So
Brenda falls out of her wheelchair. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is weird. Maybe that was only a share tab audio.
I got a. That might be it. I got a. Background audio under share. I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we heard that. So
inappropriate.
You should hear the other noises that come out of my body.
Gross.
Whoa. Whoa.
Too soon.
Yeah. Well, nah, I've known you for a while, so not yet.
So, Jason, which camp are you? Are you the 100% flesh and blood, or the partial, like the Randy no clip camp?
What are you talking about? Like what I think Bigfoot is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're blood and bones.
While they're here, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're like if they're real, 100%, they would have to be some kind of an animal or a mammal or something, just extremely highly intelligent for them to be able to avoid us, right? But I think Bigfoot will not come out into the mainstream media until the following election year. So
Okay.
I don't know. They seem to get UFOs out there right now. So
Oh, I know.
They did that. No, they did that April 28th of
now
2020.
the alien stuff is because of the election coming up. Bigfoot's going to be the following election. Right?
well, actually, it could probably
can't
be
wait.
this election cycle if they could get him to vote Democrat. So
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Do you think they have any paranormal abilities? In cloaking and whatnot?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question.
Yeah, I always ask. It's a fun one.
If we actually get if they actually are proven to be 100% real, then I would have to say yes for them to be able to avoid us. Of course, I've interviewed quite a few people who have either worked for the military or worked for, the government, where they've said they've gone in and captured these creatures. So they're just highly intelligent for just the average Joe who is going into the forest. I imagine the military have more advanced technology to be able to catch these creatures, somewhat, if what they're telling me is true. But for average people like us with, I guess, compared to the military, dumbed down instruments that we use,
They have
Amazon
energy
grade
weapons.
stuff.
It's the energy weapons that are.
I did get to play with the most powerful flashlight in the world, though, and that
Really?
Randy. No, sorry, no, Randy didn't have it, but I did get to play with it when I was in. Where was I? I was in Kentucky. I was in Kentucky.
Is it with Greg and him?
It's a big fat flashlight that's like this much around, and it has like a couple fans built in.
holy cow!
So when you light it up, it goes. I couldn't even tell you 95,000 lumens.
Yeah.
And the fan just goes completely nuts, and it's like, and it lights up everything like daytime for 400 feet.
Wow! Do you have to
Was
carry
that when
battery
you were
pack
there
with
with
that?
when you were there with Greg Yost and Jan and them?
Yes, he saw some of those pictures.
Yeah.
In fact, I was holding that flashlight when I took that shot of the silhouette of all of us walking. Yeah.
I think I get to meet Greg next month, and I'm excited about it.
Oh,
in
that's
person.
good. Yeah, he's a good
can't wait.
guy.
I'm very giddy.
He's a good guy. There was some crazy stuff that happened when we were in Kentucky. That was
you had that picture where you're standing in front of him, and he's like this. He's this tall in front of you.
Is he? Yeah, he's huge. Yeah,
he's a Bigfoot in himself.
Well, maybe he's only 6 feet tall, and I'm just like half midget. Right?
You're half a little person.
But yeah, he's a nice guy, and
7'8".
We had some really cool stuff happen. We found fingerprints. We put gifting out there with donuts, and these creatures came in. They opened up the package, took almost all the donuts, and left half of one in underneath, and then left all these fingerprints all over the packages. Like you could see them. I filmed, photographed, documented it. It was amazing to experience that. And then the next night we took some more out, and raccoons came along, and they shredded everything. They ate everything. They ate all the beef jerky. They ate all the banana. They ate everything that we put out there. But yet the night before, what these creatures came in, and they just opened up the packaging really slowly, took a handful of donuts, ate half of one, ate them all, and stuck one underneath, and that was it. Didn't touch the beef jerky, didn't touch any of the sweets, didn't eat the banana or the apple. But the night afterwards, the raccoons, and I loved it. I loved that the raccoons came and destroyed everything, because it showed what happens compared to a real animal, compared to whatever these creatures came in. And the fingerprints were huge. Like, you take my hand, and like the pinkies here, the like everything was spread right out. Like the thumb would be here. Like you put my hand next to it, not saying it was a very big hand anyway. It's much bigger when I hold it close to. Yeah, I have huge hands, by the way, massive.
It's a huge hand, beautiful hand.
Bigger as I guess. But yeah,
Best hand ever.
it was pretty impressive, and I loved it.
It looked like a fun time.
Oh my gosh, we always have fun. The She Squatchers, you guys should have them on your podcast. I mean, they are just huge.
I had them on last month, a month or two, right after that expedition you went on, right after that trip.
Yeah, they were great. We laugh so much when we're out there.
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if we talked about Bigfoot. We just laughed the whole freaking time.
Exactly. Jenna is so funny, and she just kind of keeps playing on with the words and with the it's so fun. Everyone, they're all awesome.
When they were on my show, Tammy's video froze, and every few seconds it would catch up, and so her facial expression would be crazy. and it was an hour of that, and I couldn't breathe the time it was done.
Yeah.
I don't know what we talked about. It was a blur. Yep. It was like that. But she would be talking while it was going.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. If you guys ever get a chance to go out with them, yeah, they're a lot of fun. It's like there's no stress. You know, sometimes you get groups there's some drama or there's something that goes on. There wasn't any with so far that I've gone on. You know, I've been with quite a few groups and no drama, just lots of good energy. You know, everyone gets along, no one's fighting. You know, good. So, you know, not like here with everyone here, like the fighting's crazy. Nice going, Bobby. How you doing, Glenn?
If you only knew.
Wampus Cat's fake.
Sonia, how dare you?
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight me.
I see you're wearing one of its claws around your necklace.
Yeah. I do make bone jewelry though, actually, you know, and that's one of my biggest gifts I get from the Bigfoots are bones because they know I collect them.
Bigfoot gives her the bone.
Yeah, don't be jelly.
Have you guys seen my paranormal documentaries? I have two.
I've seen some of your YouTube stuff and your comic book.
I've seen the Tubi stuff, yeah.
So I got a Bigfoot comic book being designed at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's very exciting. It's going to be a graphic novel.
Yeah,
Bigfoot content for me is coming through a fire hose, so I see everything all day long. I get mixed up.
Yeah.
All white people look alike, so I don't know who's who half the time. I'm having Eduardo Sanchez on my show next month, and I'm excited about that too.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Directed Exist.
Yeah.
I'm going to fanboy out so hard.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. He's going to show up and he'll come on, and all you're going to be is the whole time.
I thought about making an intro for it with my nose bubbling, like on Blair Witch, because he wrote that too.
He's going to be like, Bobby, it's nice to be here. I love you.
Oh my God.
Much.
It's so fluffy.
He's going to be like Stalker.
Tell me about the
that idea.
Tell me about the Bigfoot mask.
Did you say something? Did you?
To describe it slower.
Yeah, when I was in Knoxville, I got to watch your stuff on Tubi. So we enjoyed it. I sat and watched it with Mom. So she thought it was great. She goes, he's never going to see anything as crazy as he is.
I love your Mom. I love her already.
I said, oh, that's just Hollywood. He's not like that. So
I know they're all pretty funny. They got like an element of comedy.
Have you guys ever seen?
He's gone. Have you ever seen me? I'm gone.
Yeah. You ever seen me, bitch?
So
now I'm flesh and blood.
So I went and I got an action figure made.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes.
Right? So I have my outfit that I'm wearing.
What did you pick for your accessories?
It came with a video camera.
Oh yeah.
Right. So that thing that's hanging there is just so it attaches to my hand.
Kung Fu
grip. Right?
All right.
So I got that. So I didn't think anybody would want to buy me. So I went and got a giant Sasquatch to kind of stand behind me. Right. So there's the So that's what I did.
The first thing we're going to do with those, right?
Exactly. So what's so great about this is there's only one made, right? So there's no one out there has another one, right? So
Look at
And
that
you can
face.
buy it today for $1 million. So
How'd you pick the face for that?
what's that?
How'd you pick the face for that? Like, which one did you go with?
What, with the Sasquatch or me?
Yeah, the Sasquatch. I know you.
I went with a happy face.
Well,
With your own face.
Face off of one that I knew. No, I actually designed it. I actually had a
He's got
I
incredible
had
hair.
a
Scary
Patrick
looking.
Swayze.
Why are you so scary looking? Oh.
no,
It's like Patrick Swayze in Point Break.
yeah,
hair.
pretty much
He
together.
does have some good hair.
Mullets are in, Bobby. Get over it.
I can't get up. Those are mustaches. I'm out.
Have a
Yeah,
mustache.
actually, it has a beard.
Like
But yeah,
Billy D. Williams.
the comic book is supposed to come out at the beginning of December, just in
Awesome.
time for Christmas. Tubi is supposed to be getting Searching for Sasquatch 9, and I just finished editing number 10, which is called The Minnesota Roars.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some roars that are pretty epic, like the roars of these creatures are almost comparable with the Sahara Sounds, I think.
Oh, nice.
When I first heard it, I was like, wow. There's one that's, I think, 6 seconds long, and the other one is 1 minute and 12 seconds long, and it just shows like they're angry or they're just mad and they're just screaming and howling and roaring. And it's just something I've never heard before in the forest, So I'm very excited to show the world these, and the she squatchers were a huge, big part of, being able to get these roars happening. So it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to. And Glenn was really good on film. I think we should all 4 of us should get together and do a Searching for Sasquatch documentary on us searching for these creatures.
I'm okay
We'll
with
go
it.
to Sonia's place and we'll go after the cat person.
I was going to say, whenever you're ready to go, do your Tennessee moonshine one. Let me know. So
Yeah.
I got
Tennessee
this.
Roars.
Well, if you
Minnesota
guys,
Roars.
I got plenty of land and like places to camp and a porta potty already. We're good.
that's perfect.
We're set up.
If
On
there's
the
a
way.
place I can charge my equipment, that would be great.
Yeah, we got electricity.
I was going to
Doctor
say,
right now.
Tennessee's finally got electricity.
So where'd you get your training to make documentaries?
What's that?
Where'd you get your training to make documentaries? I went to film school, but I never learned how to do that.
Yeah, those kind of stuff.
Well,
the thing-
documentarian.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. For 25 years, I still am. I was an animal photojournalist. So I would travel the world meeting people that live with the most amazing animals, from wolves, monkeys, tigers, bears, alligators, you name it, Madagascar, lemurs, you name it, all kinds of animals as pets. So my motto is, there's no cages. I have to be able to hug the animal, so to speak. We won't talk about the guy with the 2 10-foot alligators. Okay, forget it. No hugging those things.
I got a picture of me hugging a 10-foot alligator.
But so I did that for many, many years, and then COVID hit, and I did a web series called Jason Kenzie's Animal Adventures, and it would show behind the scenes of all my photo shoots with all these. I would interview the people, and if you Google my name, Jason Kenzie, you'll find all my animal adventures and all the really cute. Like one year, I got into all cute animals, like rare cute kittens, puppies, serval kittens, African serval kittens, and African servals, and what else? I lost so many. There were so many I've done. I met a lady that had 5 Arctic wolves, or she had wolves, gray wolves, Arctic wolves, and she had them as pets. And I went, first time I ever got to go down into a wolf den. That was exciting. I just crawled down. I told her, that's a wolf den, I'm going down, because I'm not leaving here without saying I went down into a den. So I went down probably about 20 feet into this den and looking around. And I wasn't able to stand up completely, but I was hunched over looking around. And yeah, it was pretty amazing. So I did that for many years. I still have a few animal adventures coming up. And then COVID hit and everything shut down, and I wasn't able to do my animal adventures. I got a little depressed. I wasn't able to do any of my animal adventures. And then I turned to Sasquatch because I kept hearing about Sasquatch, and I'm in BC, right? So I'm in British Columbia. So I'm next to an area that allegedly has a huge Sasquatch, in the world. So one interview led me to another interview that led me to another interview with the First Nations that led me into the mountains where I found hundreds of these giant footprints in this lake walking across. I took a drone and I droned it, and you can see all these footprints going across. And when I showed the footage to First Nations people, they said that I found the migration of the Sasquatch people from Alaska down to California, going right through there. And I was in the middle of nowhere. Like then I went and jumped on a helicopter and went deep into the forest, and I found like trees that were upside down. I found some more footprints. I heard some howls. It was crazy. And I was miles into the forest, got dropped off. And then I did that. That was my searching for Sasquatch #1, called The Crossing. And then I put that out there, and then it just blew up on YouTube. And then, from the rest of the history, I decided to make a second one, and that was in the snow, and that was crazy. I had a FLIR, and you could see things moving back and forth, but with my eyesight, you couldn't see anything. But on the FLIR, you could see things moving back and forth. At one point, it was just moving back and forth. At one point, it went like this and then darted back. And I'm looking with my eyes. You can see it. You could hear it. And we heard children laughing or talking in the forest. And I was deep. I was pretty deep in the snow. I built a snow fort, and I slept in there. And that's when I heard a howl. It was terrifying. But anyway, I got chicken, right? So we got dog man, cat man, and chicken me. So, and then from there, I went and I spoke at the Michigan Bigfoot conference. They flew me in, and I had so much fun, and I got to meet everyone. My first time speaking, and I got to show Searching for Sasquatch, the second one, and then they took me off into the upper Michigan and then from there we filmed in the forest, and I had an experience where I saw something crawling on the ground like a giant spider. Went right across the ground and into the forest, and then I'm freaking out like the chicken I am.
Was that real or on the FLIR?
No. I turned around. I actually turned around suddenly because we were looking at eyeshine that was watching us about 100 feet away, and then I took a step forward. And so I used to be a dance instructor when I was younger. So I used to do a lot of dance moves and stuff. So I did this move where I took a step forward, and without even taking a move, I turned around, like I just twisted around. And then this shadow, this thing dropped to the ground in front of me. It was maybe 40 feet away. And another one stepped behind the tree, and the other one dropped to the ground. And I'm looking. I had the camera facing me because I was talking on camera. I was explaining what was happening in front of us when I turned around. So the light on the camera, like the light on the screen, was somewhat blinding me. So when I'm looking, my eyes are trying to adjust, but I could see the eyes as it crawled across the ground like a giant spider. The eyes stayed still, like it didn't move. The eyes were as smooth as butter. It was like it was on a stabilizer as it went right across and into the forest. And then I turned around, I was with someone, and I'm freaking out, and we're looking, and there was tree breaks all around us. And there's a lot more to the story. It wasn't like we were just walking. They broke some tree structure. They broke a couple tree branches to stop us, to look at them, and then they were watching us. And then I turn around, and then as I'm talking on camera again, as it's behind, like I saw the eye shine was behind my head, watching us, and I didn't see any of this until I got back home, and was editing it and looking through the footage, because at this time I'm thinking, I'm imagining, I'm thinking, is that a cougar? Because we had seen wolf and cougar tracks all over the place. Anyway. So I thought maybe it was a cougar or something that jumped down and was crawling across. But the problem is the head stayed looking at me as it went sideways. And I just remember the eyes looking at me. That's why I remember the eyes and how smooth it was. And
what color was the eyes?
I also slept under a giant tree X. Remember how he said I'd like finding tree structures that are so big?
Mm-hmm.
We found one that was all the trees were 20 feet high and about was massive, like massive around, and not even 5 humans could pick these up and move them. There's no way. And the trees were one of the trees was moved from another area. It was moved. There was no. Yep. There was roots, but there was no hole in the ground or nothing to show, and it was moved from somewhere else and placed. And then there was a log up on top. And I was cocky because I was new. I said, well, I'm going to sleep under this with my hammock. Right? And everyone said, Jay, this means don't cross. Like, don't, and so I did. And that night, something walked up on me and grunted my ear. And as it walked away, I could feel it vibrating. Every time I took a step, the vibration on the rope, I could feel it. And I was shaking. At the same time, there was talking. Caught that on film, caught that on audio and on film. And I actually took it to First Nations people that speak. They believe they speak that language. And she told me whatever these creatures were. They said that I was bugging them and they wanted to leave. That's what they said. And I didn't tell her anything about what happened. I said, I got this language or some kind of talking. Can you tell me what this is saying? And I played it to her. And she just like, oh my God. They're saying that you're basically bugging us. We want you to leave. Go away. And I'm like, really? Well, that's interesting. Because I had strung my hammock up on the tree X. And, on the tree X. And that's what was bugging them, is a fact. And someone thought that maybe I was making this up until one of the more senior Bigfoot investigators had went back to the night before or the night after, went to get a recorder, and something grunted at him in the darkness, and it scared him. And he went back to camp and was like, guys, I just got grunted at. So yeah, there is something out there.
That's crazy.
Jason heard it.
What color were the eyes? Do you remember?
White. I've only really seen white eye shine.
Yes, the first time I ever saw anything that I thought was the Squatch was in Mount Vernon, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. Right. And the eye shine on it was, I remember, I was a kid still, but I remember thinking it was like little 2 tiny mirrors.
A couple of years ago, huh? Oh, keep going.
Yeah, about 50.
5 years.
And really? So what color were they?
They were like, I remember thinking they were like silver discs. They were like mirrors reflecting back at me. I mean, it was a crazy thing. And then I did get a little bit of it in the light, and I remember it had the whitest teeth. Those 2 things as a kid stuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, when you live in the forest like an animal, if you brush your teeth with bark, it makes it really white. Okay, I just made that up. But it sounded
I was going to say, hang on just a damn minute.
It could be an expert for all. I was like, damn, I didn't know that. I'm going
to chewing on a tree in the morning.
How many people would have went out there trying to brush their teeth with bark?
I probably only got 10 viewers, so it wouldn't have been many. But Bobby, did you ever get that thing worked out?
No, it's
Oh, well, that
I
sucks.
couldn't get it to open on like Chrome or something. So
Send it back to me as an MP3. See if I can get it from an MP3 because I can play MP3s as a background audio. So send it
All right.
if it's small enough. Send it in the chat. But yeah. So your comic book comes out in December.
Yep.
And is it a one shot or is it going to be something you try and do again or?
It's probably going to be a one shot.
Okay.
I think, and it basically just follows a group of Bigfoot researchers going looking for evidence of Bigfoot, and they see a young Bigfoot, and they run after it, and it goes into a portal, and then they go through the portal, and end up in this whole new world, and they eat they find some vegetation that they eat. And it ends up giving them superhuman strength for like 42 hours. And that's how they're able. And then they find treasure, like this treasure that the Sasquatch people are protecting. And there's some kind of something in the treasure that helps the Sasquatch people with their abilities of cloaking and stuff. So they don't want it falling into our hands. So they're trying to stop us. So we're able to defend ourselves with these Sasquatch because, we're greedy, or at least I'm greedy, and I want this treasure. I want the treasure. So, I'm trying to get it. And there's a huge twist at the end and the climax. And we end up fighting a bunch of Sasquatch. And just to let everyone know that no Sasquatch people get killed. Okay. We don't show any blood. We don't show anyone dying. We just it's very for all ages, right? I'm hoping that people will women will read it when they're pregnant, right? So they can
like those Dr. Seuss in vitro books, all the places you will go.
Yeah, exactly. Just going.
All the portals you will know.
But it's all ages, and it's just a fun story, and it's probably going to be a one-off, and I'm going to probably try and get hopefully get some tables at some of these conferences, and then sell the comic books there and sign them for people who want them signed, and just going to be a fun story. Anyone that's into Bigfoot, that collects Bigfoot stuff, it would be a great collector's item.
I gotta have one.
Yeah, I want one. And I asked you this before, I doubt you remember, but I was talking about, did you do the digital art or did someone hand draw this?
No, it's hand driven. Yeah, someone's hand drawing it.
Okay, so you have the art pages.
I think, we have some of the art pages. I have some of the original rough, the really rough, no color, just rough. And that's great.
Yeah, I'm the comic book geek in the crowd, I think you talked. You didn't know there was. You didn't know that there was an artist and there was a colorer, there was a penciler. I think you were talking about that last time. It's like, can't break union rules.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into it, and like I said, I'm very excited. What you saw wasn't even the full thing of it. It's still a lot more. The Sasquatch isn't going to be purple. Right?
Oh no!
Oh, you give it away.
Spoiler
alert!
Well, if you have a spare art page, I'd like to get one signed from you. So I don't have $1 million though. So
it was going to be $999,000.
Oh darn it! I'll ask my wife for her pocket change. So.
Damned inflation.
Yeah, exactly. COVID did this to us. So.
Well, I should get going, guys.
Okay.
I have some stuff I have to do. I want to say thank you so much for having me.
It's been fun.
Here. Like I said, I'm sorry for being late. I'm not usually like that, but there's so much being pulled into different directions. I'm getting ready to go to Florida.
Life is busy.
Go after the skunk apes. So
yeah,
fun.
You're going with like the mid. Are you going with the mid Florida research group? Are you going with anybody? Is what I was trying to ask.
Yeah, there's a group out there, and I can't. At the moment,
Is it Marie?
No, it's not Marie. No, I wish I want. I can't wait to meet Maria.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was them. I like them. They're really cool
They're
people.
super nice. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, have
so
fun in Florida.
yeah, thank you. And so, yeah,
And
you
good luck.
guys keep an eye out for Searching for Sasquatch 9 and 10. 9 should be out very soon on Tubi. There's
Good.
lots of other stuff going on coming down the pipeline that I'll let you guys know. And if you guys want to see any of my other stuff, you can go to searchingforsasquatch.ca. So that's great.
Mhm.
My website. And if you want to see my animal adventures, just Google my name, Jason Kenzie. You'll find all my fun little animal adventures if you like animals.
He's all over the internet.
All right, guys.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'll send you a message after a while and try and talk you out of some comic art. So
yeah, sure. I'll let you know. I'll find out what I'll do some calculations to see what they should go for, but it's not going to be an arm and a leg. Maybe.
Just tell my wife it was. How about that?
A finger and a toe, maybe.
We don't have to pay extra for your signature, do we?
Yeah, exactly.
We knew you we knew you way before you got real famous, so we don't count. So
yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All right, Jason. Have a good night. Thank
Have
you for coming
day,
on. I appreciate your time.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm glad Jason was able to make it in here. I'm all tongue tied now that he's got me a fanboying. So
Calm down.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Put it back in your pants.
You should have.
I can't help it. Did you send it anywhere, Bobby? Or no, you haven't.
That file is a monster.
Is it? Okay. All right.
It's 11 megabytes. It doesn't like going anywhere.
Well, maybe that's why it won't play. I don't know. So,
I thought I found a way to do it while he was on there, but I didn't want to interrupt him again.
No. We took too much of his time as it was.
Wasn't about to be like, hold on for another minute while we try to fuck around with this file.
Yeah, we're gonna try an experiment. Do you mind hanging on?
Let's see if it works just for future.
And he's the famous one. Yeah, exactly.
I want to hear it.
Oh, well, if Bobby could get it playing, we'll play it here. Let's see what we got now. All right. Whirl away, Bobby. There it is.
There it is. Working like a charm.
Okay. Yep. Figured it out, as usual. Per usual. Sound like a pig.
It sounds like two foxes fighting.
Yeah. It sounds like two cats or foxes. Yeah.
It does. It sounds like two foxes fighting.
Or fucking.
Or fucking. Yeah, you're right.
Fox fucking, baby.
Depends on how you like it.
What was that?
They were sitting in the camp, around the camp, and they heard this, and they assumed it was two raccoons.
No, that's two foxes.
Well, whatever it was, the last thing you hear on there is the screaming. You hear is pop, and they said they could feel it. And what they found the next day on the tree, about 6 foot up, was a blood spot. So their assumption is that it grabbed it by the tail and popped its head against the tree.
You shouldn't make assumptions on stuff you don't see.
Well, blood higher than they could reach. Just recorded that the night before. That's a pretty safe assumption, I think. But
it could have been something messing with a fox. It could have been fighting foxes.
So, I mean, it could have been obviously a lot of things. But
it was obviously a Sasquatch.
Could have been a fox and a raccoon fighting, and the raccoon could have got hurt, or the fox could have got hurt, or the raccoon could have climbed up the tree and left a spot. I mean, who knows?
Well, the pop at the end seemed to be pretty loud.
It was pretty loud.
So that was their assumption. I don't know. I can't say I wasn't there on that particular adventure, but whoa, you got one coming in on you now. So, but it was definitely interesting. You speak dog?
I'm listening to it right now.
You heard it right.
Yeah. Mine is usually like, shut up.
No, see, my dogs are well trained. I just got to go. The other one's over. He's trying.
Well, Ginger is redheaded, so I call her a hellhound. So she's not really well trained. So
well, mine's are Chihuahua. Can you believe that? Chihuahua. One of them Chihuahua and part pit bull. And do you hear any barking? No. Good dog.
You should be sure to cut that part of the episode out and re-upload it with Jason.
Oh yeah, okay.
When it comes in.
Well,
it was actually a good episode.
What tonight?
Yeah, when he came on there, it was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I can. I guess in CapCut I can. So yeah, I can do that.
I hope you can. It's 2023.
Hey, I'm still learning all this technologically advanced stuff. So
you're not that old.
If we can't even learn how to mute our chats, I don't think we're in for any hope, y'all.
Well, if you, I feel like that kid going in Radio Shack with my Battery of the Month Club card. You know, I'm the old guy now saying, "Hey, can you help me, Sonny?" So, y'all probably don't even know what the Battery of the Month Club is. So,
I'm sure it comes after the AARP card. I don't know.
That's before the Alcoholics card. Oh, that's AAA. Never mind.
Lynn used to play Jack's.
I got my chip. Whatever.
I didn't get that card or coin. I kept just.
We used to play Jacks by the soda fountain.
Used to watch Paint Job.
I'm not that old, so.
For fun.
I'm old, but I'm not that old. So, yes, I miss Radio Shack too. Todd, I believe you can get that on his website when it's available. If not, I know his other books, I've seen them on Amazon. So he'll probably outlet through Amazon. But I can't wait for that comic book to come out. I am giddy. So, of course, his plastic Sasquatch to me, he kind of got the hair down pat. That's a Canadian one. They use pine branches to what do you call it? Comb their hair with up there, and it's got a little bit of the black gum in it, so
I'm sure.
It pulls it back. So it looks like Elvis.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when he goes to Florida, he'll see the unkempt American ones that don't even bother. They stink. So,
well, I mean, you live in that much water and you live in that much moisture, and let me see how well you smell.
Oh yeah, not to mention be a couple 100 pounds and hairy. So yeah, I get it.
And they only have 4 toes too, you know. So when you look for footprints, you're looking for the 4 toes, not the 5.
Yeah. See, Bobby, the ball sweat on them is horrible. So, where'd you go? There? I don't know. You just suddenly went away.
What did you do?
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. You just weren't there.
Sonia.
I did it.
It's always a woman's fault. Well, there's Deana.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
What you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm such an idiot.
That's okay.
He told me 10 o'clock too. Whatever.
Well, no, the 10 o'clock was for the second hour where I was going to do the segment on the.
I always forget that it's.
Well, you didn't invite me to the other show. I just invited to all the shows, and I just need to.
Yeah,
that's pretty much an open thing. Yeah, so you are. I don't think you need a special permission. So
I feel like it sometimes. I don't know. Can I come? Can I please come with you guys?
You're always invited.
No, you don't have to do that with me. You are welcome anytime, anywhere. So we love to have you here. So and some of these crazy other
looking
ones.
At his comic book right now.
It's great, isn't it?
Or on Amazon, I guess.
Parts of it are. He hasn't got the whole thing up
One
there.
time he was going to make a coloring book. Did he make a coloring book already? And now he's making a comic book? I meant to ask him.
I'm not sure. He's got several kids' books out. I'm not sure about the comic
book.
So
yeah, he does. He's got a coloring book that's pretty cool, and I kind of want it. I'm not much of a colorer.
That'll get your anxiety and stress out.
I love to color.
I don't know. Well, people around here, when you catch people coloring, it's usually on their own drugs. So
hey, now
it is.
I'm not on drugs.
I didn't say. I'm not saying you. I can't be taught coloring around here. People think I'm.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's not you. It's me.
What did y'all say?
Maybe in that holler it is, but Wendell, the name doesn't ring a bell. So, but that doesn't mean anything. I got like 3,000 friends, and I get probably 50 messages a day. So, and we know you are, Todd, but we love you anyhow. So,
What? I'm on drugs.
yeah, I'm on drugs.
Well, I'm on some drugs, but they're prescription.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm on some too. I don't know a doctor,
Oh my!
but I know a
look
guy named Greg. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, don't give it away.
If it was legal here, I might be on drugs. I don't know. More drugs.
I want to go to
anyway.
Randy. I want to go to Randy's so bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just have
You
should
and
just go
Glenn
to
should
Sonya.
take a trip down there for real.
I should just go to Sonia's. It's a lot closer.
Well, yeah.
We need we need to talk him into doing a Tubi episode up in your holler. So
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would like that. It's funny too because we're having like the name of the road that I live on is Hogskin Holler. That's where I grew up. So they're having like Hogskin Holler History Day this weekend. Yeah. And I'm going to get a chance to sit around and talk to the neighbors, I think, and, get to ask them some questions because they want me to come up there and talk. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can do that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because they all know, they all have experiences up here. And some people know what it is and some people won't admit to what they think it is,
Right.
Yeah.
well, my
We
question
have a
is, how
Hogskin
long
Road
has
here. Hogskin. I think it's just Hogskin Road.
Yeah.
yeah, there's one out in Powell.
Yeah.
How long has the clan been up in that holler? Like in Halls, they've been there for over 100 years. So
People like my family, is from Halls. Obviously, you know that, Glenn. Like my great aunt, she lived at the bottom of Copper Ridge, which is Texas, Texas Valley area.
Yeah.
And that's where she thought they used to call it the big gray thing. And people would talk about seeing it in the morning time, eating out of their gardens and stuff. And that's what they called it out there, was the big gray thing. And then back in like the 70s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on the date. There was right there in the same area, right going into Copper Ridge or right going through Halls. There was that state trooper or that cop that wrecked. And he said that a giant spider had crawled out in front of his cop car in the road, and he flipped his cop car, and when they interviewed him, he never changed his story. He said it was a giant spider, and he wasn't the only one that reported that. There would have been other reports of people saying they saw a giant spider in that area coming across the road, but he was the only one that wrecked.
On Maynardville Highway up there.
Yep, coming out of Halls, going towards Maynardville.
probably
Before you get to the county line, there's that place called Copper Ridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They probably live in the woods over there. Gun ranges and
A rifle range? No,
no, on out in the.
Well, I don't know about that because
the land,
that,
the land management thing
Mhm.
where you go hunting and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
What the hell is that called?
Are you talking about the one in Union County?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I say so because they don't have many paved roads back, or no, they don't have any paved roads except to the park entrance, and then
Talking about
from
Big
there
Ridge?
on, it's trail. Yeah,
No.
no, not Big Ridge. It's way
It's on
back up
the
on the other side of
left
33
as you-
Bridge.
As you
Church
go.
Chapel?
No.
Yeah, it's a TVA wildlife area up
Yeah.
there, and you have to be out of there at night. They
Hold
forbid
on.
you to camp there.
Yeah.
So I think they're there for sure.
I do too.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's 25
What's
minutes.
the name of that thing?
I'm on the other side of North Lake, so I mean that's the same area. We're all sharing the
Yeah.
same lake. I live 5 minutes from North Lake,
Right.
and North Lake is right there in that same area, and it runs into that.
What is
I
it?
want to say Saskatchewan. I am not.
No,
saying
that's
it.
not
Like-
it.
Yeah,
Saskatchewan.
It's got like this weird name though.
What is that?
Let's get Google Maps up
My
here.
God.
Well, you were saying that you didn't think they were down by rifle range. No, I kind of disagree because the family houses were all up and down the Minot Road there. And,
Well, yeah. I mean, I know about mine.
believe-
Road.
I believe I believe that area was.
It was.
It
Now
was.
back in the day.
Well, I believe my uncle was. Now that I'm older, I think he was a veterinarian. I think he was habituating, habitating, whatever the word is.
Habituating?
Yeah, that's it. So
Habitual.
No. Habitual. I think we're all on drugs. Hell,
I know I am. What's y'all's excuse?
I need some or something.
I got
Good.
you if you go.
Thank you.
I got Chuck Swan. Chuck Swan Wildlife Area.
Chuck Swan. See?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I could. Okay, I know. Okay, so yeah, they're definitely in Chuck Swan because we all share the North Lake area here, and some of their migration patterns. Because I have some that come through, like at certain times of the year, and they don't stay. But I know which direction they come from, and they come through that same area, and they use the lake and stuff, and the ranges between the lakes to be able to move. And people ask if they can swim. Yes, they can swim. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, they could probably walk at that lake.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they can too. So, I mean, why couldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
with the energy and stuff, like they have places that have water, like you have all the elements and things like that. Those are like those high energy resonating areas. And of course they're going to be there. The energy is easier to use there. It's easier to cloak there. Yeah. I mean, it's just easier just to for them to be able to come in and out,
Yeah.
And people like, big thing that's been going on right now with the Bigfoot community is like everybody keeps getting like, we get these footprints, right? We get prints and we only get one good print. There's always one good print out of like all these other prints. You'll see these footprints, but never one that's good. And we've been having discussions lately. I'm thinking that when the Bigfoot change their energy or they direct their energy elsewhere, or when they're cloaking, that when they cloak or when they use that energy, I think that's when they leave those heavy footprints, like when they're changing energy, like they change that energy and they'll step and it'll leave one good print and the rest will be gone. And I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Kind of like a push-off print, like if you were going to do a high jump.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes actual good sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody keeps arguing about why we only get one print. And I've been doing this for like 20 years now. And I only get one print and I could be like right behind them, and still only get one print. They'll leave me sometimes. Like when I started doing the shows, like I went out in the woods and I was like, what am I going to take pictures of? And I pretty much was like, I didn't ask for permission to take their picture. And that's one thing that I haven't done yet. And I guess I'm just too like embarrassed to ask them. I don't know. Scared. They'll say no. I don't know. But the next day, like I went out the next day and they put up new tree markers for me. And there was a place where like our gifting place and there was footprints right there. There was like 2 really good footprints, and I was just like, all right, thank you. I mean, it was pretty cool, but like, I've been out here and I know they're out there and I know when they're out there, and people are like, why don't you take their picture? Why don't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And it's just like, you don't understand unless you're out there, like how hard it is. Like I've had trail cams that have been moved. I mean, when this first started, like when I was like 15, 16, this was like 20 years ago, like we had really good trail cams. We spent top dollar money, on trail cams. My mom worked for Clayton Homes back then. And she made damn good money. So we used to have really good money. And my mom like spent really good money on these trail cams that they would be moved. You couldn't strap them high enough in a tree and something would still move them. And, and I would talk to people and they'd be like, oh, it's squirrels, it's raccoons.
Move a damn trail cam.
Hey, I was just thinking, how does a squirrel do that?
And that's mostly like
they're crafty. Those little crafty suckers, they can't.
You just like, you wonder why people like, you sound more stupid. I think people sound more stupid saying a squirrel moved that than you would say, well, a Bigfoot did.
Yeah.
Like, even if you want, what I mean? Like, anyway.
I think the paranormal aspect makes it more believable. No one wants to ride. It's better than be a hidden monkey. What are they hiding?
Okay, so the thing is like we don't realize it, but me and you and everybody sitting here, we are interdimensional creatures. We are energy and vibrational creatures.
Yeah.
We are so dumbed down by what's going on in the world and by the government and by the food we eat and by everything that we do. We are so dumbed down, we don't know how to use that energy. And if we sat out in the woods long enough with them and cleared our bodies and cleared our minds, we would be able to move like they do. And I would stick by that. It's like if I got lost in the woods right now, I hands down guarantee I feel like I would survive just by their help.
In the near future, we may all need to go into the woods. So
that's true. I'm a survivalist, right? I've been waiting for a long time about what's coming in the world, you know, like everybody should be prepared. And I've been preparing in ways that I thought that I needed to prepare, right? Food, water, blah, blah, blah. In all reality, all I needed to do was really clear myself and clear my mind and like get one with nature, because if you're one out there, like it will take care of you. The earth will take care of you. She always has. She's our mother. She takes care of you. She shelters you, feeds you. She gives you everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
So
just got to know how to do it. Absolutely.
Right.
Bobby,
Anything.
what were you going to say, Bobby? You look like you were about to say something. So
I was about to say I'm going to bed. Oh, no.
Yeah.
hell
Well,
outta here, Dan.
we hit the 2 hour mark, so I'll go ahead and bring us down to a close here.
I met a famous Bigfooter tonight.
You
Tomorrow I have Ashley Hilt from the Ashers, and Wednesdays we talk weird. And
Yep.
That'd be
Sunday,
cool.
Sunday I've got Sunday I got Jonathan Odom.
Hey, remember that time I did that show with you? I do. I remember.
It's coming out. It's a special one. I got hidden. You're a Bigfoot one. October's going to be all ghosts, so I'm saving you for that.
Oh, save
I
me.
would watch your.
Save me, my hero.
Hey, it's coming. It's definitely not one I'm not going to air because it's really good.
Well, next week, if I've got my schedule right, which I hope I do, I have
probably
Annie. Probably not. Knowing me,
Yeah.
I have Annie Larson. I don't know if a lot of people know her, but she's a celebrity, experienced professional medium. So she's been through a bunch of classes, and she's a pretty smart person. So she's going to come on and talk with us for about an hour. And of course, tomorrow we will have the big chat, the Big Brother show. It's a live eviction, so Deana,
Yeah.
make sure you're on time for that.
I will be
cannot
here.
wait.
Nina, you're being mean, Glenn. Geez.
I'm a late person.
She's
I run on my
really
own
blonde.
time.
By the time I
I'm
came
really-
in the show, it's like 9:59.
I really do
I don't
have
know.
blonde roots.
Yeah, well, we
Bad.
still
Hey, what's
love
wrong with
y'all.
being a blonde? Like, hey, my hair's naturally this color. Just
Hey,
what
well,
Nah.
is copper match the drape? Never mind. So,
I was
all
I
right.
was blonde when I was a child.
There you go.
Thank
All
you.
right, and then Saturday is the Misfits show. The segment I was going to do in the 10 o'clock hour, I'm just going to do on the Misfits. So, sorry, Brenda, you could have been here. So, Bobby, hopefully we'll see you Saturday. So,
Yeah, I'll be somewhere Saturday. I think I'm going to Buc-ee's Saturday, so I may be happy.
You are.
Are we doing
Lord.
this segment
Of
on
course
Shelton
you are.
again?
Oh yes, and we will have the Shelton Q&A. That's always good. And if you missed it, check out last Saturday's. It was a blast. And Bobby's going to do his segment of Alabama food pictures. So we got to come up with a good name
I
for
love
that.
that.
So.
Part.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Sarah, wait to the drop. I love the drop. Always love the drop.